All right, and we are back on a rainy Sunken lane. So we have, to start this one, we're starting out with 335. We just had a fairly big one on Nicodemus Hill where CSA won quite comfortably. It didn't always appear that that was going to happen, but I think that there was something of an officer mismatch overall. There were, for the Union, it was a more mixed bag, and the CSA seemed fairly solid in who they had leading, and it showed the arty was absolutely on, as artillery tends to be, but looks like the Union's going to go. They were thinking of their left side push. Now it looks like the IVB regiment. I think so. That's the 69th A. I don't know which one has the green. But certainly the 69th New York, they have A and B company, and that means they also have buck and ball. So those guys are lethal at close range. I hope that this is a demonstration.
Get your bayonets on.
Especially because I'm working the 3.
All right, we won't tell, but so it looks like 3 to the left, 1 to the right for the Union. They're going to utilize both flanks since they are available, and of course I've gone to the one that doesn't matter, but we can at least watch the reenactment of The Last Samurai here. This is the Union. This is where they need to get. Oh, one guy made it in. All right, a couple make it into melee here. Eventually, the CSA has to reload. CSA is easily going to defeat them, and that is it. And then you have a third group that is coming in too late to support, and then you have a group that's standing back there shooting. Okay. So, this part of the IVB has... All right, this is being led by Arthur. They are in a very good position here. This is one of those odd situations where the Union are buck and ball dominant. The CSA, I think has access to it in at least one of their companies, but the Union is absolutely happy to make a close fight of it. But if these are mostly buck and ballers, they probably want to move into their effective range. Now, I thought there were only 3 CSA groups, but in fact, all 4 of them are down there. They've defeated... the Union only lost 1 flag. They got 2 others back there, but... yeah. Alright. Should be a good volley. Good looking. I don't know, the CSA gave him too many targets, but... there is that. We'll try to keep an eye on this flank as well as what the Union might be up to over here. And I will say that at least CSA did not seem too sure as to whose responsibility this was. The CSA is concentrating, as some would say, blobbing. And this is a game where concentration versus dispersion works, as long as you can get your concentration into the other side's dispersion. But as Arthur's group is correctly doing, they are saying no thanks. They're also weakening that other flank. And you see the Union is thinking about going over there. They've pulled 3 flags. One of those flags looks like they want to go back. It's really hard to tell what the Union's plan is there. I see 2 flags in the defilade. I see some guys running up. I see people streaming over. And we'll see. I wish this light whistle would clear up.
Oh my god, so good, boys. Good job. Oh my god, I love it.
But as long as this is the only kind of pressure, like 2 somewhat medium-sized... Alright, so here's the other company, the CSA company, and they're going to try to... they're not going to quite have the angle to enfilade them, but they could. But this is going to be rough on the Union. CSA's got concealment and cover up there. And the Union's not at the optimal buck and ball range. You got to be up a little bit closer. But yeah, move up to this group here. This is a good idea. They don't have a whole lot of cover and concealment. They are at an optimal buck and ball range. Let's see how many continue to exist here. Yeah, buck and ball is no joke when you got a map for it. Now in CSA, looks like they're going to infiltrate some people down in the lane. We see the group that was in the corner come out. They're going to look to hit this part of the 69th on the right. And so the solution to that is for the... I don't know why that was funny. Probably wasn't, but it was. And so it's really interesting that Arthur's group up here, they've tied down 2 CSA companies. I would say, well, the other 3 haven't been able to make headway against the defending 2. All right, we'll see if that changes. CSA definitely has the better ground here. So what's really smart about this, and an underestimated thing that I'll talk about elsewhere soon, the ability of movement, if you're just coming in this game, but if you need to get stronger on flag, or you need to spawn in more people on flag, movement, it's harder to hit a moving target, and you generally want to move away from whatever is causing you a problem. This group is in a lot of, this Union group that just went up and over. I know they think that they're going to do damage. They're going to get sandwiched here from 3 directions. All those dudes who have nothing to do, and all those dudes who might want to come in and knock them out when they realize. I don't think there's a Union threat that's left up there. And if there is, they could still concentrate here against this group, wipe it, and then turn around. All right, we see Arthur's group up on the right. All right. So now the CSA's figured it out. And they're going to collapse on that group and wipe it. And, yeah. But given how the first charge went, you can't be too disappointed with that result. They're about even on tickets. They have the CSA at a reasonably good clip to go engage by 27 minutes.
Fire! Fall back, fall back.
A lot of people do this running stuff, which you can also do if you know the terrain quite well.
All right, reform.
Know where people have sight lines to the enemy, clear shots fired. Have them take a knee so that they are very difficult to shoot. Have them aim while they're kneeling, then have them rise and fire, and then kneel back down. You're not going to hit very much doing the run up and fire and kind of whack-a-mole style volleys. They're not going to hit that much anyways. And you're going to lose more tickets because the defenders are braced and they get to shoot you as you're running in before you're able to aim. So the kind of kneeling crest firing that I was talking about, you're not running. And the only time you are exposed, this is very productive for the Union. You got 2 flags up here. I don't know if this is the other, well, I can find out. Oh, I forgot to unmute our officer, but that's because I didn't know who all the officers were at the beginning. I swear that that's the reason. All right, so no, Pax's group is not also 69, so I don't think they have buck and ball, but at least one of these units do. So you got a mix of ranged and long range and close range options.
Hold fire, boys. Hold your fire.
So you got 3 CSA flags here, and that means that there's 2 Union groups against this last Confederate group. And this is... Alright, we'll see how that turns out. Now, and the Union's positioning here, they're going to move through cap. Yeah, and there it is. The Union got the CSA down very nicely.
Up and over, boys. Up and over. Get on the
CSA's doing a little bit of plink, but the Union's probably spawning those casualties in as fast as they're losing them. Over here, the Union made it. And you can see they got both their flags in here. Oh no, that's a CSA flag. I thought the other Union flag is up there. I'm all for being conservative with the flag. That might be a little too conservative, especially when you see the other flag. I don't know what that group is doing up there. I don't know what that is, but
Ohio A on new line. Ohio A facing new line. We're watching the rear. Face down. We are watching the rear.
but you can see you got two CSA
Ohio
flags
A,
there.
Get on the
Third there. All right, the Union was not far behind, and then the fourth over there.
Ohio A. Double click forward face to go up. Let's go Ohio A.
Yeah. Those are both infantry officers that are.
We ski rebel, ski rebel. We're watching the rear.
All right. I'm not too sure what that was about, but yeah, this is very good for the Union. This is fine buck and ball range. It's close enough. We have not looked at CSA already. CSA already is where you would expect them to be. They start in the orchard there on Piper Farm that wheel themselves out. Yeah. They need to pay a lot more attention to this. They don't know it, but
Gentlemen, look right. Focus
Yeah.
fire northwest. On snake beds. Focus fire northwest. Look northwest.
that is correct.
Everybody, pull it back. Pull it back. Fine, run.
Well, we will see if that green flag.
I want you, boy.
Hit the far right, boys.
All right, that's Union. That was a very well-timed arty hit to break up the reinforcement of this part of the fence here. I think that was a CSA flag that was temporarily down. What on earth is this?
Clown, eagle, always pull back.
Man, this is pretty much two companies on the Union side of
Go, boys.
working
Forward.
against
Fire
four.
back forward.
And that's what happens when two companies going against four. Especially the group that has buck and ball. Must be Ian's group. I assume that they have buck and ball. So they have a lot of 42s even if they have round ball. Not prime time for that.
On the snake beds, defend fire. Closed in. Keep firing.
The Union is up by a ton here because Arthur's group and Pax's group embedded themselves on the point and did a ton of damage there.
Look right, Joe. Look right.
Forced the CSA to come to them,
Far
so
right, gentlemen.
the Union's up by more than half a morale stage. Probably the only way back in it for the CSA, unless the two Union officers leave the match. It's probably cap recap. And that's a lot of dudes in artillery. That's 8. It's an evenly matched at 340, and you have almost 20 people in artillery.
All right, extend the line on the new line.
And you're
Spread
fighting
yourselves out, make sure you have bayonet sequence.
Probably 100 dudes with buck and ball. I came into War of Rights just as artillery was coming off the test servers. Played it for years, but
Shift left. Shift left.
I think big batteries usually harm a group, especially when the artillery is one-sided, with a few exceptions.
Fall back, New York, fall back.
But I think the CSA's only choice, if they could manage it, would be to pull back and cap recap. It's hard to do.
No, fall back, fall back.
Fall back.
Keep those federal colors down. More on it, we got 9+, nice side line.
I wonder if they could concentrate and get that flag back.
Their belt buckles.
Smoke is thick on this. But if the CSA is going to force the early cap, they got to do it soon, because once you go too deep into taking losses, you can just count on Rambos and spray and pray to knock you down to breaking before time expires. Yikes. It's always a rough feeling when everybody on the flag keeps getting dropped. Man, I don't know if that's buck and ball or what. I just see people dropping. But yeah, if you're the CSA, I don't know. I think as nice as the arty shots look when they do break up a charge, I would say maybe a maximum of 8 guys on artillery, and probably not even that. Just have a bunch move out, one of each gun. A really good gunner on each of those 2 guns, and then one guy in total to assist
Everybody stand up, stand up.
both guns. I guess that puts us up at 4.
You're Ohio A, you are shifting left.
And then 4 guys to just move the caissons over throughout the course of the match. Right, 2 on each caisson, and just keep wheeling those suckers over. By the time you shoot through the first one, the second one should be there. And then I think you just throw 10 guys back in the line. But you can't organize that here. You can't even dictate that in a lot of organized
Everybody,
play.
break reloads and charge right.
In terms of
break
what's best for
reloads
the
and
team.
Charge right, break reloads and charge. Charge right.
Even if all these shots were hitting, given Artie's killing radius, it just ain't worth the tickets. You need those guys to be in the line. You need those guys shooting and stabbing. You need those guys picking up flags. All that other stuff. I want to make my thumbnail work easy. There we go.
Keep going right, guys. Keep going right. Charge them. Where are they?
Let's see. Was the CSA listening to me even though I'm recording, not streaming? Well, that's a good start. That's a good start. They're far enough back that the Union can't find them unless they're running out of bounds.
Jackson, you ready?
You should know better.
We have no choice then but to kill it all!
Well, there is cap recap. That is an option. And considering you're just about to run out there as you go breaking any... Well, you are about to go breaking, so... Yeah. And now you are breaking. So... Yeah. The Rainbows probably forced the hand of
Up and
the
over.
officers.
Up and over this fence line, and you're gonna charge. We're not giving it any time. You are just charging them. You are just straight up charging them right now.
Really?
Just charging them. You are just charging them.
I mean, the Union's on point, right? I don't know what that group is doing. Because you just stand on the point, and you shoot them down, and you win. I don't know why that was funny, but it was. But I'm pretty sure in this one you could just charge off the point and probably still end up winning. It was a good shot, about 10 seconds too late, and if it had been earlier, you would have team killed, so. Yeah, this is... It's over quickly.